Hello my fellow Archons, and welcome to day 6 of KeyForge Christmas. We're halfway through this journey with the giveaway coming up on day 12, so be sure to stick around for that. Today we'll be talking about 10 amazing cards that are being reprinted in the upcoming KeyForge set Grim Reminders. That means new potential and new synergies for these cards that I'm quite excited for. Without further ado, let's get into it. First off, we've got Waste Not returning from Dark Tidings, one of the few cards from that set that received a lot of love. It reads play, destroy a friendly creature, draw cards equal to half that creature's power, rounding up. There are all sorts of fantastic targets to use this on. Sandworm and Equidon at 16 power to draw 8 cards, Awakened Titan or Rickety Cybergiant in Brobnar, or even Ghost Tree in-house at 10 power. Or best of all, think from the Deep and Unfathomable at 30 power, allowing you to draw a whopping 15 cards. And there are plenty of upgrades that give loads of extra power as well, such as Prototype Harness and Modular Exoskeleton. Waste Not will enable all sorts of epic burst plays with Haunting Witch and Rot Feast and the like. Very excited for this one. Another untamed reprint I'm excited for is Giant Sloth, a rare that we've only ever seen in Call of the Archons way back in the day. It has an awesome action ability that gives you 3 Ember, but it can't be used unless you've discarded an untamed card from your hand that turn. With scrap abilities now part of the equation, you can acquire extra benefits from discarding a card from your hand in order to use Giant Sloth. I'm thinking of things like Jervy or Witch of the Spore. Deal 3 damage by scrapping the latter, then use Giant Sloth right after. Next up, we've got a few Mars reprints, the first of which is Mars First. Oh, and by the way, Ironix Rebel is being reprinted as well. That's 2 amazing sources of ready and use at common in Mars. Being able to instantly utilize awesome effects like those belonging to Abductomatic or Zip the Implanter will be awesome, or even things like Blipip, another reprint. Combos will really start cascading like crazy with the right set of cards, reminiscent of the old Coda Mars days. I mean, just look at all 4 of these cards together. Things will get wild. Mars also has good archiving potential as well, so you can archive these pieces for later as they get used or destroyed. Speaking of archiving, another great reprint is Memrox the Red. Returning with it is Scoop Up, along with Mars First and Ironix Rebel like I just mentioned. Target Unixidal is another source of common archiving that can also archive itself upon reap, and Yip Yak's Abductor and Glimmerspore both archive artifacts from play. Overall, Memrox will be able to burst like crazy in this set, and with all these ready and use effects, hopefully on a pretty consistent basis. One more awesome Mars reprint is Replay Pod. It was fantastic being able to give your Mars creatures a second life with this card back in Winds of Exchange, and you'll be able to do it again in Grim Reminders. Again, having a whole bunch of Mars cards in hand at once will lead to all sorts of hilarious cascading combos. Also, with Key Abduction being yet another sick reprint, building up a large replay pod, then activating it with Key Abduction in hand may lead to a pretty easy key cheat. Heading into Brobnar, we've got another returning Coda classic, Headhunter. With Brick Nasty also in set, Headhunter's simple Fight Gain 1 ability suddenly becomes Fight Gain 2. With Beanstalk, he'll enter play ready, then gain another one after the fight with War Chest. Headhunter is the original example of being rewarded for fighting, and with all these amazing supporting cards, these rewards are being cranked to 11. Give it extra power with Lifting Buddy, ready and fight with it with Shock Herder, heal it with Yo Mama Mastery. I'm definitely excited to see this guy come back. Over in Equidon, we have Trade Secrets. This one factors in directly to scrap abilities. Where in Winds of Exchange you would simply discard Equidon cards for the sake of stealing, now in Grim Reminders you can trigger scrap abilities in addition to the steal. Say you play Trade Secrets to discard Transitory Philosopher, Grigoku Sapper, Belligerent Guard, and Incarnation Pod. Destroy a friendly and enemy artifact with Sapper's scrap ability, purge the bottom card of each player's deck with Incarnation Pod scrap ability, then steal 4 Ember. Trade Secrets was a favorite card of mine from WoW, so seeing it with some extra depth and Grim Reminders is super cool. Also in Equidon, we see Shopping Spree getting reprinted, along with Helmsman Spears and Starlines with a similar effect. Both are cards that boost your efficiency and can potentially extend your turn, but also help you get haunted quicker if you're not already. And of course, I keep bringing them up, but scrap abilities factor in here big time as well, setting you up to trigger multiple at once potentially. So many of these reprints perfectly fit the mechanics of the set, and it gets me more excited than ever to get my hands on more of these decks. We've just got 2 cards left, and they're both from Unfathomable. First is Omnipus, an iconic Dark Tidings creature that always comes with a few tentacled creatures. Omnipus reads, Omnipus cannot fight. Play, discard the top 8 cards of your deck. Play each tentaclid from your discard pile. After reap, gain 1 Ember for each friendly tentaclid. This is just a really fun, unique, and thematic card that's not always the most competitive, but can still lead to some cool bursts and intimidating boards. And that play effect can help you get haunted quicker if you're not already. I like Omnipus for the fun factor, it's good to see him back. And lastly, the terrifying Bryozoarch is being reprinted. Neither Abyssal Sight nor Befuddle are returning for Grim Reminders, and not even Illusions of Grandeur, but Bryozoarch at least made it through. Bryo is just an amazing card to begin with, but I included him on this list because of this one new upgrade, Thought Swim. It reads, "This creature gains. While your opponent is haunted, this creature cannot be dealt damage." So if you put this on Bryo, while your opponent is haunted, their actions are rendered nearly useless, and Bryo cannot be removed from the board through traditional fighting or other sources of direct damage. When Bryo is out with a lot of protection or creatures to his left, the best way to get rid of him usually is by throwing creatures into him, whatever it takes to get him off the board. But with Thought Swim, even this strategy is rendered useless. It's a truly crippling combo, and while these cards are rare and uncommon, so you won't see them together very often, there will be pods with the two of them, and the opponent will be put in a horrifying situation until they're no longer haunted and they have a chance to do something again. And there we have it. 10 incredible reprints for Grim Reminders. The synergies in the set are going to be fantastic, and these returning cards will enhance them all the more. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again in the next one for Day 7. See you later!